Alright, y'all, so it's another episode of Let's Talk About It. I got my boy Bennet right here. He got a few aliases,
Yeah, so I go for music, I go by Emotive, and for visuals or any kind of creative visual content, I go by BL Creative.
So, just want to first, before we get into the meat and potatoes, or in this case, tacos, kind of want to get everybody a little introduction about you, a little bit of your upbringing and stuff. So,
yeah.
So, like, what city you come from?
Yeah, so I'm from La Cañada, California, so I've lived there around that area most of my life.
Oh, wow. So, starting like that, did you go to school for a lot of this?
So are you talking about like music beginning or like visual beginning? Like how far back do you want to go?
Let's go high school. Were you interested in any?
Yeah, so in high school I was very much a band kid. Well, honestly, it was going all the way back to 4th grade. I loved the drums. I loved to just walk around the house and hit stuff. So I was destined to play the drums. Starting in middle school, I got into like the marching band, or really from middle school, it's more like concert band. And I played a whole bunch of different instruments, different percussion type of stuff. And that continued on to high school. I was in the high school concert band and high school like marching band. I was in drumline, musical percussion instrumentation. That's really my background in music.
Yeah, so you learned music theory like really young age then.
I mean, I wouldn't say I learned like complete theory, just because like percussion, you don't really deal with like notes and stuff. A flat, what is that?
Yeah.
I was just.
But you play an instrument.
Yeah, I know.
Not many of us in the EDM scene that
I played
not one
drums,
instrument.
So I could say like I have musical experience and have a background in that, but. A lot of my upbringing, I was really into kind of rock.
You have like an emo phase?
Emo phase, definitely. And I never really fully got out of my emo phase.
Okay.
The bands some of my favorite bands growing up were like Shine Down, 3 Days Grace, A Day to Remember, All Time Low, all those kinds of bands. So those really influenced the music that I'm working a lot today. So I took a lot of inspiration from those things. And I used to be one of those people who I didn't consider EDM to be like real music. I had like disdain for like EDM. What's that? That's not real music. That's just like electronic stuff. That's not real.
You're like this Skrillex dubstep.
Yeah, so I wasn't really in the EDM and like electronic music until like college, and kind of opened it up more for me. But
what school did you go to for college?
So I went to Channel Islands, CSU Channel Islands.
Okay.
It's near Oxnard.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went there, and when I went there, I really wasn't very open. Like I said, I wasn't into EDM at all. And someone showed me a song by Marshmello my freshman year, and honestly, I thought it was kind of a bop. I'm like, okay, I kind of like this, because at that point, I kind of graduated out of high school and like out of like the band phase. So I kind of grew out of drums, kind of looking for like my next phase in music, if that kind of makes sense.
Did you start with DJing?
Yeah, so as soon as I started to look into this stuff, and I found at the beginning it was just, I did a lot of like searching. It was mostly like big room stuff. So
main stage
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like Martin Garrix, Tiesto, kind of those like festival bangers and shit.
Yeah, worldwide, like Afrojack.
But then, like I was kind of just exploring, but then I found Seven Lions, and I found bass music. Okay, this is what's up. I can like get down with this stuff. I kind of saw the similarities between bass music and like rock music. I feel like share a lot of similarities.
Okay, so when you were in school, were you trying to?
Yeah, so going back to your question, I wanted to really explore like DJing, and I bought like a simple controller and everything pretty quickly. And I really like wanted to learn, because I thought that was like my next step in like music. I still wanted to be involved in music somehow, so I was really like looking for a path for that.
Getting fun little toys.
Yeah. So I got into that, and shortly after, it was honestly at the same time I got into like, I want to like make music.
Were you studying that in school?
No, so I was an art major. I did like a lot of my video stuff, which we'll talk about in a bit. So it was studio art.
Okay.
It was kind of like a broad term, but really what I was doing was like digital art. They didn't have like a specific thing for that, so I just did studio art, which kind of encompassed a lot of the digital art.
Okay, so was there like any struggles that you faced, like pretty much like leaving like the college life and kind of pursuing it more into like, now you do like different like productions, and you do a lot of different
during
things.
school I really explored with like, I used Logic and really kind of did a lot of production work. I took like a master class.
Man, that's so useful, man.
Yeah, I took one taught by Deadmau5 and one taught by Armin van Buuren, who's like a trance DJ.
Yeah.
So I kind of learned production that way. My first show I ever played was a small show at my school terrible. I was bothering. I kept like trying to talk to the people who do like events at the school, and like I want to do, and it went absolutely terrible. Like,
What?
They
What was
didn't
terrible
market
about
it.
that?
They didn't really market it at all.
Okay.
And then like we did it, and I had to like bring all this equipment. I rented a whole bunch from Guitar Center.
Oh, damn.
And it was also super windy, so like all this stuff kept like falling over, and it was just like terrible. But I got through that. That was my entry to it. But I even though it was a bad experience, I still like wanted to do it because it was like so much fun.
Yeah.
And even like it had some people come out, so it was like success for the most part, even though it was kind of miserable. So I really wanted to start looking into like clubs and like places I could actually like DJ for real. So I remember I was just looking on Instagram and I found Mayhem Events, and I messaged like one of the DJs who was tagged in one of the posts. I was like, hey, like I'm just getting into DJing, like I don't really know much about it. Can you give me some tips and stuff? So he told me a lot of different things. Tone is his name.
The homie.
Tips on like music about the whole like scene and stuff. I remember I went to my first show for Millennium in 2019 because obviously found 7 Lines. I found Millennium.
Is that why you're a fan?
Yeah, I found Millennium, found Said the Sky, and those people. Since the instrumentation is so similar to rock music, I really latched on to those. So I went to my first EDM concert in 2019 for Millennium. Most amazing concert. It was incredible, and it really like hyped me up. So like I said, I really started getting more into the music aspect of it, right?
Right.
But then I started going to these local shows, and I was like, Tone introduced me to Marvin, which is the owner of Mayhem.
Yeah. And
I was set to do my first show, like I was going to the meetings and stuff, and then as soon as I was set to do my first show, COVID hit.
Oh, that's the worst, man.
I had to wait a while, but it was honestly like a kind of blessing in disguise to kind of give me opportunities to like network with the different DJs, even though we weren't playing shows.
Yeah.
So when shows like did come back, I was like very connected to people. I felt like an actual part of the group, even though I hadn't even played a show yet. Like I knew everyone's name, did all the shows. I felt like I was ready, and then I started doing shows in 2021. Since then, I've been playing shows.
Yeah, and I'll give you props, man, because I kind of noticed even when we were talking about your school stuff, is like you've always been, from what I know about you, is like I see you like really good at networking.
Yeah.
Like, even with me, I mean, you've hit me up like 3 times sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
And I mean, I feel like, and that's how I was able to remember who you were compared to like everyone else, you know. And I always attract myself to more people that are in the same mindset, like networking, and always seeing everything as an opportunity.
Like this industry is all about who you know.
Yeah.
Like it's like. Obviously, talent takes you some way, but it's mostly who you know. So from the start, I was really wanting to meet as many people as I could and just make different connections.
Yeah. And so, did anyone teach you that, or did you kind of?
No, I was kind of just like out of desperation because I really wanted to be so like, involved in it. And, like I didn't know anyone, so I kind of like had to do it. You know, through school and like through honestly most of college, I consider myself like super shy. Not really like an outgoing person, and that's why honestly I had some like troubles like through like the whole DJing because I didn't know a ton of people to like sell tickets to.
Yeah.
So that was kind of big hard. Obviously, every DJ goes through that. I feel like.
Yeah. You
but
gotta,
for me, it was
be your own team.
It was like I really pressed really hard to like meet people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like part of the industry that this is part of it.
Yeah, you were hungry for it. And
exactly.
Yeah, man. But speaking about hunger, man, we got some tacos in front of us.
Tacos look
all right.
Absolutely amazing.
So this one right here, I got the pollo, you know, and this one over here, we got the chorizo. It has some asada, and I got some al pastor right here. And my homie right here, he got.
I'm very plain. I'm a very simple man when it comes to my food. Kind of just like it straightforward. Yeah, this looks great.
That fool just got hit. Sorry. This fool just smacked into this guy's car. Okay, sorry, a little intermission right there. But hey, before we go too distracted, also got a little bonus taco right here, the Cabeza. You know, I'm not a big Cabeza kind of guy, but for y'all, we'll do it for y'all. We'll do it for y'all. And the homie got an extra tortilla to get it less greasy, but it was kind of a little, still a little greasy.
Too greasy. Hey,
let's try the first one. You want to try? Let's go for the asada. Let's go for the asada first.
This one. Okay. Hey, see, I'm learning.
Beef. Yeah, we have some. Don't worry. I don't think all the audience speaks Spanish either.
Okay, we're chilling.
Cheers. That taco made me really happy. That is so good. Down. All right.
That's really good. I never thought I would be doing food critiques, but here I am.
So do you eat tacos a lot?
I do.
Okay.
My mom makes tacos from scratch too.
Oh, okay.
So and I go, do we have a good taco place where?
So you're meant for this critique.
Yeah, basically we're good.
All right. So what I like to do, I usually rate them 1 through 10. 10 being like, honestly, I don't think there's ever like a 10. A 10 is like perfect. It's hard to be like that perfect taco.
Yeah.
So I usually try to like debate like or rate 1 to 10, but we don't use the number 7 just because it's kind of one of those cop out numbers.
Yeah.
You know, what would you, out of all your asada tacos or beef tacos you've tried, what would you rate this one right now?
You know, for being just meat, it has a pretty decent amount of flavor, so I'm gonna give it a 6.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm actually gonna, and it's not even that I'm like hungry or nothing like that, because I mean I am a little hungry, but and not to just hype it up, I'm gonna have to say I'm actually gonna give this one a good 8. It's actually one of the best carne asada tacos I've tried. And obviously tortilla de mano always gives it that extra bonus, so that alone, and it kind of gives it like that Tijuana style to it too, with the guacamole. And honestly, this is probably one of the best.
This is really good.
There's another spot we rated called Angel's Tacos. I used to be a really big fan of their asada, but I think they just topped it. All right. Before we go back in the interview, because I know we're gonna get super deep, let's try one more.
I'm down for it.
All right, let's do the. I know you're gonna be scared of that one a little more. We'll do the al pastor. They got the pineapple on it too. I don't know if y'all. If you get it de todo, it pretty much stuff it all up. But
let's do it.
Let's get it. Okay. Off the bat, I'm gonna give. And not that it's not good. I just think I've tasted better. And most pastor it kind of has like a whole different flavor. It's kind of a lot of people are like, what kind of meat was that? But this one actually kind of tasted like pork. I'm gonna give this one I'm honestly gonna give it a 4.5. And that's just, not saying that it's bad. I mean, 5 is average, remember? So it's just like this close to being average. What would you think?
In my opinion, honestly, I'm just gonna give this one another 6. I kind of like the flavoring on it. Not gonna lie, that was good, like flavor to it. So yeah, I'll give it a 6. It's also like not too dry. It has the right amount of moisture in it. So I'm gonna give it a 6.
Nice.
Maybe so you can't do 7. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? So I'm gonna say 8.
Oh, dang, it bumped it up.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, we got 2 different taste buds right there.
It's all good.
And it shows a lot, too, because my boy here not a big fan of pork either. So we kind of just went through how your networking and everything, all that was basically off of starvation.
Yeah.
So what year did you actually start taking DJing more seriously?
Definitely 2021 is when I started to really take it seriously and really try to build a brand. I started, Emotive is not my original alias. I started with another alias called Big Boss.
Oh, nice.
But then the music I wanted to play didn't really fit with that name.
Okay.
So I made another alias, Emotive, with a friend of mine, a best friend. He is really good at piano and actually writing music. So, and I was more focused on the sound design and the DJing part of it. So it was a really good pairing and stuff. And that lasted 2 years. Music isn't his career of choice. He's trying to be a doctor in the medical field. So obviously that's his main thing. So I eventually decided to go solo because he wanted to do more of the medical stuff. I haven't really been producing for the last couple years just because how everything's been going. But since I haven't really been producing much, I've gotten really into making mashups because it's kind of a quicker way to kind of make some stuff and it's not as intensive. I always spend so much time on my computer with the other things I'm doing.
Yeah, you do some sick edits, man.
Yeah,
you send me a lot.
I've been really getting good and happy with the stuff. 'Cause I love combining songs of bands I like with bass music and this dubstep.
Right.
Melodic dubstep, stuff like that with
It's a perfect genre for where you kind of come from.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I've noticed. A lot of the dubstep people are they had their emo phase.
Yeah,
I might be the only one.
You didn't have an emo phase?
No, man.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was just talking about it to someone, and they were talking. They were just what were you listening to during the emo phase kind of stuff? I thought about it. I was listening to some just stoner hip hop. I was I had my stoner phase during too.
But originally, Emotive was supposed to be more feelsy music, and I was really kind of headed in that direction with the stuff I was making, really melodic, almost cinematic, so more Elenium and more Said the Sky, Porter Robinson.
Oh, Porter Robinson.
Those people, right?
My boy.
Yeah, but then in the last year or so, I've really shifted my focus from melodic stuff, more of a rock-centric to heavier stuff. Basically stuff like Sullivan King, Keizo, those heavier songs, but also mixing some of the melodic stuff. That's why I love Elenium so much, because he does both, and he does a good mix of both during his sets, and which is what I'm trying to do. I'm not just trying to go all out during the balls to the wall the whole set. I'm trying to. It's a
journey. I'm
trying to take the audience on a journey and have
there needs more of that kind of direction in this scene nowadays. So everyone's just trying to be the hardest one now.
Yeah. So that's really kind of what I'm trying to do, because branding is really important for me, from my background for art and stuff, and building a recognizable brand and an actual oh, this is this guy because he does this, and like being able to have like, an image and stuff is like really important to me.
Right.
So I've been really focusing on building an image with not only the stuff I DJ, but also like how I present myself and how like just post the content I post and stuff like that.
So Emotive is your DJ producer alias, and this is why I actually want to interview you because you're a man of many hats, and I love that.
Sometimes for my own good, sometimes it's not so good. It's a double-edged sword because I'm someone who I have many interests, and I try to find myself in different things, but also having many interests, it's kind of like I get like distracted sometimes. So it's very hard to keep things in balance when I have like so many different things I'm trying to do, stuff like that.
A lot of people don't know, or if they do, but you do a lot of visual.
Yeah, so I have BL Creative, which is my visual. I make concert visuals and a whole bunch of video editing stuff, but mostly for like the music side of things, like concert visuals. So I make them. I VJ, which is basically like DJing but visuals.
That's so sick.
And like honestly, like it's
because I seen it like behind the scenes, and it looks so cool. I've even like got hands on it. Sometimes this is a little bit better than DJing. You're kind of just more.
I mean, you're definitely dealing with a lot more than just like 2-track. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like the same as DJing, but it's similar when you're doing multiple things at a certain time and you're trying to like do multitask and stuff like that. But with VJing, I actually didn't really even like investigate it that much until like just like recently, like last year. It's like when I first like actually like
so
thought about it.
2023 was your first year.
2023. Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to this too. Is they're very focused on the superstar route, which is the one route to get there. Everyone wants to be like the next big thing, and everyone's kind of focused on that thing, but they don't think about like how can I get to that point outside of just being a DJ. Like how can I be in an industry and like get these connections instead of just trying to go that one route. And I'm something
providing more value.
Yeah, I'm someone who's guilty of that because I didn't think of it outside the box. So how else can I get there? Like until like recently, like last year was the first year I actually thought about like VJing. I'm like, hey, like this is something like I can actually like be good at because I have the art background and I have the music background, so it kind of combines both. I've been like learning it like there's a whole period when I was learning about it, right? And I have a really good mentor. His name is Roy G, and he has experience at Insomniac stuff. He does a lot of local stuff, and he does a lot of visual creation. So he kind of really helped me like learn and like the ropes. VJing, it's unfortunately there's a very high barrier for entry because you have to buy a lot of equipment. You have to buy like the controller thing. You have to have a good computer that actually run the stuff and like be able to run all the stuff that's going on at the same time. You have to have the program. It's called Resolume, and it's a free program, but it has a watermark that comes up every now and like every couple of minutes, right? So you can't really use it for its full potential, and it's like something like $800 to get the full thing just to remove the watermark from it. Which I get it, you know, but it has a very high barrier to entry just because you have to all the stuff you have to learn.
And that's not even talking about the skills that it takes to actually run and actually be working on the program.
Yeah, so I spent a couple months learning in the first part of 2022, and then I really started to like, okay, I can do this, but also I want to make visuals. It's kind of like the whole making music versus DJing type of thing. Like I want to like actually make visuals. So I knew a lot about from my background, from like my degree and everything. I knew how to like make these things already.
Right.
So that part of it like went pretty fast. I started like right away getting clients, just hitting up other DJs. And since like I actually first committed to it in March of 2023, and since then I've had over something like 80 different clients. I've worked with a ton of different companies, and like not companies but like DJs, and like I've done visuals for a few different companies. I'm always trying to expand on that. I've done shows in San Diego, I've done shows in LA, and I'm like really enjoying the whole like VJ thing. But something that I was thinking about the other day, I was thinking about like how all these DJs, they only have like a one path view. And my standpoint of it is, okay, like you have your goal, what you want to get to, but you have to be able to expand to other ways you can get to that goal, just not that one path, because you're very limiting yourself to that one path. Right. So like what I was thinking about is like there's like a freeway, right? And everyone wants to be on the freeway. The freeway is the most direct path, right? Yeah. But so many people on the freeway now, the freeway is actually slow. But there's like side streets. There's like side streets you can use to get to the actual goal. Because the freeway is so slow, you have to think about like how else can I get there? And I feel like people who think about how else they can get to their goal, especially in the music industry, that people are going to succeed because they're going to have different avenues and more connections than just the people who do certainly just music.
Yeah, I really like that analogy because I always kind of think of it a little bit similar too. It's kind of like not really the freeway thing, but I think just in general, have mapping out where you want to go, your destination, and mapping out how to get there, just like how it is a map. If you're gonna say like, oh, I'm gonna eventually get to Florida one day, I'm just gonna like just do whatever I can to get there, not ever look at a map. But you know, and a lot of the times people have already like written like a map for this. Yeah. And now we actually have, it's kind of like ways. Like now there's alternatives, you know.
Exactly.
And I like the analogy too, because the first thing I thought of too was sometimes you end up getting into more of the insanity in the freeway because it's so packed. Yeah. And now that people have forgot about it, even though it might take like an extra 5-10 minutes, you know, or like it might take a couple years in this analogy, like you might actually run through less like issues.
Exactly. And in some cases it might be faster.
Yeah.
Because you'll get more connections, you'll meet more people, and you'll be able to share your music or the actual music aspect of what you're doing to those people. Yeah. So it's kind of, just gotta think outside the box sometimes.
I fucking love that. All right. Chicken time. Okay. All right. Let's check it out. All right, pollo. You could tell they seasoned this guy right here.
Yeah.
All right. Before it gets a little too cold. That tastes really fresh. Here, I want to get your opinion first, though.
So this, I'll give it like 4.
Really?
It doesn't have much like flavoring.
Okay.
But it's still good in terms of like texture, but like in flavoring, it's still good though.
The other ones, stood out more. Yeah. I actually give this one a 6 because I'm actually not a really big. I mean, I'm starting to kind of eat more chicken nowadays. Yeah. And I usually don't get it because it's usually a little too dry and all that. But this, at least mine, they're pretty thick, and when you get in there, it's like not dry at all. Like it's actually. So when I tasted it, actually, it tasted really good and fresh. Actually made me feel kind of like good, energetic a little bit. It's not a weird that I got that off of one bite, but that's the best way I can explain it, right?
Energy drink chicken.
An energy taco right here. Here, actually, so I got 2 more tacos.
Okay. Sorry, we've been really talking and like.
No. That's like my hardest part. Is like not to get them too cold.
Yeah.
Here, so I'm gonna try 2 at a time. Actually, no, I'll try this one. I'm gonna try that one last. Yeah. I got the chorizo right here. You know, no homo. This shit. All right, we'll try it out. It might be because it's been a little bit cold, but pretty mid. Pretty mid. I was expecting like some of the chorizos will have like a lot of flavor in it. Like I said, maybe because it's a little bit cold, but just because of the cold and you know the sauce and everything, it kind of makes it worth it. I'm gonna give it a. Sorry guys, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. And I'm being nice. I know you before we started filming. You're also telling me that you're into like some like mysterious different things. Like, what were you talking about? Because when you told me that, I was thinking like what? Like you believe in ghosts or what do you mean?
I've always been interested in what else is out there. So like aliens. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like into Bigfoot or anything of that, but I'm like that kind of stuff interests me to see like mysteries of what else is out there. You know.
Right. Have you found yourself in any rabbit hole?
I mean.
What's the biggest one, or at least like this year?
I'm like really into the whole alien and like thing about like all the UFO stuff coming out is like super interesting. I follow all of it like religiously, like
the Miami thing and all that.
Yeah, I'm like super like I'm super into that stuff. I don't know. I just have like I love mysteries and like adventure and like the unknown and
question everything.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a YouTube channel called Mr. Ballin.
Oh yeah, I know Mr. Ballin. Yeah. And he does more of the Bigfoot stuff too.
He does. Yeah, he does all kinds of stuff, and I love that stuff. Like it's just like so.
Great storyteller.
Amazing storyteller. Like incredible. Like I just all that stuff has always interested me since I was a kid, and like. Even when I was a kid, I would like scare myself watching some of these things. Yeah. All that stuff is just interesting to me.
So do you think aliens come from outer space, or where do you think aliens come from?
Well, I definitely think they come from outer space, but there's a whole bunch of different theories that I think could be plausible. But I think the universe is so massive, and it's been here for such a long amount of time. I think to think that we're the only intelligent life form out there is crazy in itself. Because the probability there's other things out there, whether they're intelligent or whether they're not, is pretty high.
So you believe the Earth is a globe?
Oh yeah, bro. I'm not like, bro. Like I don't want to hear. I'm not like super like into like super conspiracies. Anything.
I mean, it is kind of. I've never seen curvature. I mean. I've never seen curvature. I'm just saying, have you ever heard like the train analogy? Kind of like, when you like look at a train track and like it looks like it's getting smaller and you're going further away, but it's just your eyes. The way you see it is like it makes it look like it's smaller. But if you get a camera and you zoom into that, it's back to being the same flat thing. But no, I feel because my theory about aliens, because I'm like aliens don't exist. But
come on, bro.
But
come on.
So just this last month and a half, I actually went. I'm like, all right. My only theory that could, if I ever say like aliens could be, it would be if they passed Antarctica, and because Antarctica is the thing is literally like the ice like that surrounds us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we even have an Antarctic treaty that we've never we can't break. Like we can't pass like a certain part of Antarctica. It's completely illegal. You'll get shot down.
Yeah.
So you can't explore it. But there was one person, and I forgot his name, but he actually went to explore and he went past and he found land past that. There's theory that there's different land past the wall, you know, and that's why they say
the wall.
Yeah, past the ice wall, you know, Antarctica. So pretty much like think about it like this. Here's our territory, and anything past that would be extra. So it'd be extra territory. What is that? Extraterrestrials. But
I see what you're trying to say. I just
a theory. But I feel you. I spitball too.
Okay. Hey man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Stay tuned for conspiracy theory. You know, coming out like 2 months.
Conspiracy theory cast.
Yeah. We do conspiracy night or something.
Yeah, for sure.
But so aliens. So what other things do you find interesting other than those green people?
Hey man, they don't have to be green. They can be purple,
It could
blue,
be a cake,
yellow. You don't know what they can
like the one in Venezuela or something.
Honestly, I've been really into like stand-up comedy lately.
Oh, that's nice.
So I've been really loving to watch like these different podcasts, and since I work a lot on my computer, I listen to all different kinds of podcasts, and some of them are about aliens, some of them about comedy, some of them are about aliens and comedy.
There you go.
So it's really like I'm really into I'm on a comedy kick right now. Like, I love Theo Von. You know who it is?
Yeah, of course.
Shane Gillis, all those people.
You watch like Kill Tony and stuff?
Oh, dude,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love.
We have similar humor then.
Yeah, we got you. But yeah, like all that stuff has been like super interesting to me. I love like travel. I want to travel more. Like I love exploring new places. I actually do this thing. Sometimes I call it. It's like urban exploring basically, and you just like go around to like new cities and like. Not just like the tourist attractions, but you go to the parts of the city that's like not well known or like.
Yeah. That's lit.
But you know, I like to like find new places. Cool. I also want to have my own venue one day and like
that'd be insane.
Operate all that. I have a whole bunch of things I want to do within like the music and entertainment realm.
Right.
So. Yeah. I'm just kind of, we're taking one thing at a time, and then an opportunity comes along. I'm like very open to things, I have a very open mind about different opportunities.
Right.
So I try to like always, I don't want to get too much on my plate. It has to make sense, but the stuff I have going on right now, I'm very happy with how it's going. I think I'm really going to stick with that for a while and just see how that goes,
Yeah. And that's kind of why I wanted to have you on too, because like one, like I said, you're a man of different hats and stuff like that, and two is like you've actually took the time to establish yourself on all of those things.
Yeah.
And like now you literally have like a bunch of stuff always happening. So like, what's some advice you would give to like anyone that's coming up or anyone that's kind of like graduating high school, thinking of something art's calling them, but they don't really know what?
I would just say don't be afraid to try different things. Like experimentation is like your best option. Like even if you don't like it, you don't have to stick with it. It's just at least you tried something. Being say, hey, at least I tried this, and I try to do it, and like I try to see what's up with it. At least you explore that option. You have to be able to step out of your comfort zone and try different things, and be willing to fail at different things. So you're not going to be good at everything. Like
sometimes failing is the best things that could happen to you.
Exactly, and you'll learn lessons along the way, and you failed. Like I failed like a lot of things. It's like lessons that have taught me a lot about life and how like life is, and like life is ever evolving. Like, I feel like you never stop learning about different things. So you just gotta be willing to try different things.
Right.
Is like what I would say. Like being willing to experiment with different options.
Yeah. And would you say that like all those like L's that you took pretty much paved the way to where you're at now. That like even like the stress for like if something small probably happens like during like your event, it's probably not as big of a deal since you've had to deal with like all your stuff being blown away.
There's no light without darkness, and there's no darkness without light. So there's always a good and bad with everything. So you have to take it as it comes and just like try to make the best of the situation. And I'm not saying like do something like dangerous. Be smart. Like, be willing to take risks and experiment with things, but don't like there's a line, you know. You don't want to be like too reckless, you know. Right. So I always try to think of like the positives about every situation, and because everything has a positive and negative. So you just kind of gotta roll with the punches, you know. You kind of just gotta flow with it.
Oh man, thank you, for coming out
thanks,
here, man.
Bro, for having me. This is fun.
But before anything, do you want to plug anything?
BL Creative is my visuals, and then Emotive Music on Instagram as well. So, and everything's linked to each other. So if you go like the link tree, have all my other accounts and stuff.
We'll put the link tree in the description too. That way it's a lot easier just for put up. But we'll still individually put them. But before we even go, I still got one more, y'all. Y'all thought you were gonna skip past this bonus round.
Bonus round.
Yeah, ding ding. All right, yo, this is the Cabeza. All right, like I said, I'm not a big fan and all that, but today, for you guys, and it's cold. All right, let me try it out.
How was it?
No.
Don't spit it out.
No, I took a big bite too. It's actually, so I think I don't like it that much because of the texture. Once you get past the texture, got it actually like really like bomb. It's like super thick, like crazy thick. And this is like not even fat in there either. This is like all carne. It's really chewy. And I think it just has I've learned from Cabeza, it just has that unique, like different flavor taste. And but if I was a Cabeza guy, I would probably, rate it a little bit higher than like a 6. But since I'm not, and I gotta be honest, I'm put this one I'll give it a 5 actually, because I could tell people that like it would really love it. But just maybe not for me. But yeah, guys, shout out to my boy behind the camera, Sam. I don't know if you want to show your face, but shout out my boy right here. And come check it out, like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff,
all
like
the
these
things.
influencers
Do them
say.
all.
Yeah.
All the things.
Let's get it. Hey, and if you guys ever come here, the Agua de Fresa, fire. Tacos al Cabron, guys, right here. I'm gonna, I'll put the thing on there, show you guys what the Instagram looks like. But thank y'all for another episode. See y'all next time.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so before y'all head out, I'm playing at Destroy LA April 5th, hosted by Mayhem Events and We Love Candy. And so yeah, catch my set, catch our boy Bennet. He's gonna be playing as Emotive, going back to back with our boy Born Dead. Also, he's also gonna be doing some visuals all night too, so make sure y'all go there, check it out, support, and do all that cool stuff. Just help out the algorithm too, whatever. And yeah, see y'all next time.